right. Well, speaking of gaming conventions, a few weeks ago at PAX East, they announced, Gearbox finally announced that they are going to be starting production on Borderlands 3. We have been waiting for freaking ever for this game, guys.
Yes.
Now, there have been a couple of sources that have said that Gearbox has actually confirmed this. At PAX East, they just kind of teased that that's what they were going to be getting into, but there are several sources that have said that it is going to be their next major development that they're going to do. Now, there's been some speculation around the project itself because it's actually not going to be part of a quote-unquote trilogy where it falls in with Borderlands 1, 2, and 3. It actually seems that it's leaning more in the direction that they're going to go with a different title for this game. If you've played the Borderlands games, you know that pre-sequel comes after Borderlands 2. I'm not going to give it away, but if you've seen the end of the pre-sequel game, you know that there's something at the end of it that really gets you worked up and ready for whatever this next Borderlands game is going to be. Now, one of the sources actually states that Gearbox is kind of leaning towards the title, including, quote, a favorite character's next of kin. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't call him a favorite character, but I think it's going to include Angel. I really do. I really felt like it's going to include her.
Oh no, I loved Angel. Angel was my favorite.
That's what I'm saying. You had a nerdgasm when you heard that one.
Yeah, and as far as the release date goes, there have been a couple sources that said they were shooting for late 2017, but there's also been quite a few that have said that it's been pushed back a little bit longer. I mean, it really depends. For me, I wouldn't complain just as long as it gets here eventually, but if it came out in 2018, I mean, the longer that they take to develop this, the more I'm going to appreciate it, because I have been dying for this game forever. I promise.
Right?
Yeah.
We've been dying for it since we finished the pre-sequel.
It's what Destiny tried to be, in my mind.
Yes, except Borderlands has so much more. Like, what do you guys think? Like, when it says a favorable character's next of kin, like, thinking of it through the games themselves, like, what do you think the possibilities are? And if you played the pre-sequel, do you think that is, you know, do you think that's going to play into what the next game could possibly be?
Honestly, a favorable character's next of kin, the only one I can think of, and since there will probably be multiple Vault Hunters, the only one I can think of is Roland. That's really the only one I can actually think that would be probably
Roland was
the next of. Roland was in both the first and second one.
Oh, he was in the second one? See, it's been a while since I played the second one.
I'm going to go ahead and say it because Borderlands 2 has been out for a long time, but Roland meets his demise in Borderlands 2.
Roland died? Yes, he does. Okay, see, I never got to play it to completion since my Xbox 360, just like my Xbox One went out.
Roland does, in fact, die in Borderlands 2 because...
That saddens me.
It was a rough one for all of us.
Yes.
And,
it was a tearjerker.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, especially having to go around and telling everybody, hey, by the way! Honestly, I don't know about if Angel would have a next of kin. I'm not sure if Jack had any other children. He never mentioned them.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though, is Handsome Jack, in theory, was the only one that had a next of kin, and it would have been Angel. So that's why I said he's not really a favorite character. He was kind of more of everybody's favorite antagonist because everybody hated him collectively. Like, I don't know anybody that was like, Team Handsome Jack. Do you
think, since they're saying next to kin and a dead character, that makes me think it is going to be one of Roland's next to kin. Maybe we haven't been introduced to him yet, but when it says next to kin, you usually think of somebody who's passed.
Right, and Angel had technically also died in the second one.
Yeah, and you do kill Handsome Jack, I mean...
Yeah. So, the only one I can really think of is the only other one that's died is Roland.
Yep.
So...
And now, to kind of go back a little bit too, if you haven't played the end of the prequel, this doesn't really give away a spoiler or anything like that, so no worries here. But it does kind of give a hint in the direction that all of the Vault Hunters from all of the games, so 1, 2, and pre-sequel, will be playable characters in
That's
this
awesome.
next game. So it leads one to think, is this going to be kind of an MMO game, you know, kind of like how DC Universe is, where you can get together with 12 or 16 of your friends
That would be
and
awesome.
play this game?
I think if they're gonna have that many characters, they should let us all get together in a big party and just let us go. And I like how we're gonna have that many options of people we want to play. Because only having 4
Yeah,
kind of limits you.
Yeah, I mean, it's still debatable, but if they did that, I think it would be really cool. Because if you played even between Borderlands 1 and 2, while the characters, they still have the same, like, outlines. You know, you have your Siren, you have your Berserker, you know, Brick, and the little guy, Salvador, I think, is the Berserker in 2. But, like, if you think of it in that aspect, they do kind of have different attributes that make them more favorable. Like,
Yeah.
Brick just likes to beat shit up, and then the little guy, he just likes to, like, double gun everything, you know? And so
Yeah.
I think that would make it a lot more interesting for the gamer themselves. But I really hope that they bring in the aspect from pre-sequel where the characters actually interact with each other as they're speaking to one another, which is something that you
awesome.
kind of lost in Borderlands 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So
now you got me interested.
I'm good unless y'all got comments.
Me personally, being in love with Borderlands, all the Borderlands, even the pre-sequel. I know some people hate on it. I personally I loved it because of how the characters were, and that it was right before Borderlands. I mean, it was after Borderlands, but the story was before the second one.
So it kind of filled in the gaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
It filled in the gaps between 1 and 2.
See,
but
now
being
that makes me want to
after
play.
2.
Yeah, and a lot of people really got confused with that too, because
See,
they're like,
I did.
okay, but
That's why I didn't play
I
it.
ended Handsome Jack's life in Borderlands 2. Why am I on his team in pre-sequel? Yeah. But yes, essentially, it's supposed to be the in between for 1 and 2, kind of the other side of the argument, if you will.
See, I really dig that because I thought the prequel. It wasn't in the main series, this and that, and the way you just described to me actually makes me want to get into it and play. It's like, if they're actually filling in the gaps between the two games, and I get to see what ended with, like, Roland and everybody else, that really gets me hyped into, you know what I mean, to play it. Because I didn't know it was going to have the characters from the first one in it. I didn't know that, and it was going to fill in those gaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, although you can't play as any of the characters from the first, there are in it.
Okay.
It's mostly just Lilith and Roland that you see. You don't really see Brick or
Mordecai or anything like that. Yeah. However, Deanne's favorite character, and I think a lot of the gaming world's favorite character, Mad Moxie,
Moxie!
is there.
Oh, you gotta love Mad Moxie, man. Mad Moxie's my chick.
That one.
Yep. That woman's the best.
Best cosplay, too. Well, one of the best.
It only really works if the girl has boobs. I mean, sorry.
Well, that's a given.
Isn't that any cosplay, though?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That's why we love the cons. Any more thoughts on that topic, or are we moving on?
Nope, just Gearbox needs to hurry the hell up.
Amen.
Seriously.